Hello there. I hope that you're well and that you are adhering to the safety regulations that we have been given. That you are keeping safe and saving lives by washing your hands and sanitizing, keeping social distance, and staying at home. Today, I want us to share some mental health tips on dealing with loss and grief during COVID-19. Loss and grief are part of our lives. In our new normal, we are all directly or indirectly dealing with loss. According to David Kessler, an expert in grief, we are dealing with the loss of the world that we knew. Right now, everything is so different, and we are all experiencing a different world that we had never thought about and never imagined, and yet it is with us. Grief is often associated with death or loss of life. However, any loss can trigger grief because grief is simply a deep state of feeling of sadness because of a situation or an experience that one is going through. Any loss, therefore, can trigger grief, be it job loss, opportunity that has been lost, plans that have been cancelled, changes in routine, changes that one may not want, but one is forced to adhere to. And even at family level, there are clashes about the understanding of safety and protection, as people have different understandings. We could also have grief as a result of bills that have not been paid or loans that continue accruing interest. According to Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, all human beings deal with loss in the same way emotionally. The first step when one experiences a loss is the feeling of denial. It can't be. It can't happen. No, he can't die at this time. I cannot be confined in the house without movement. How would I be without having an opportunity to mix or meet with my friends? It just can't be. It can't work. No, it is not true. And even at the lowest level of just misplacing a pen, we are often in denial. So that you even look for this pen at places you never went to because you are simply saying, no, I could not have lost that pen. And so denial helps us survive the loss. It is the first stage, and it helps us move to the other stages. It helps us survive the loss. Sometimes, because of this stage, people become numb. They can't just appreciate any feeling, or they may enter into a state of shock. But denial starts the healing process. After denial, we move on to the second stage, which is anger. At this stage, people often ask themselves, why me? Why is it that I'm the only one who had to lose my job? Why is it that I'm the only one who had to be sacked at this time? Why is it that my mother had to die at this time? Why me? Why us? People often find themselves blaming others. You would blame your friends. It is so and so who did this. If the doctors would have come at the right time, this would not have happened. Had so and so not reported me, I would not have been sacked. So they are blaming others. People would find themselves blaming others. For Christians, they may even ask, where is God? Does God really care? Am I really important to God? Is He aware of what I'm going through? Now, anger, like denial, is also a very necessary stage. It helps, it actually dissipates with time. Anger wears off with time, and it is a very natural response. After denial and anger, one moves to bargaining. At the bargaining stage, one is actually negotiating that should this loss not have happened, I will become a better person. For example, if it is a death of a spouse, a wife may say, if it is really not true that my husband has not died, I'll become a better wife. I'll become a better mother to my children. If it is not true that I have not been sacked, then I will start going to work early. I'll actually be the last person to leave my workstation. I will work like I'll never work before. It is the third stage. One lives with the hope that the news that was heard, the news that reached him or her, may turn out not to be true. And actually, it is a stage where one is willing to make major changes if only the reality is not true. From bargaining, one moves to the depression stage. Depression actually represents the emptiness that one feels due to the loss. One realizes at this stage that the loss has indeed happened. In most cases, one feels numb, one feels hopeless and helpless, and one does not want to go on with life or with daily routines. One can even neglect their own body care or care, self-care, because of the state of hopelessness and helplessness that they find themselves in. After depression, then one moves on to the acceptance stage. At the acceptance stage, it is not that one says that it is okay. It is not in that sense that it is okay that I've lost my job, or it is okay that I've lost my parent, or I've lost my spouse, or I've lost my child. It is actually a point where one is at that point where they are telling themselves it is going to be okay. It has happened, but it is going to be okay. One comes to terms with the facts as they are, and one begins to live with it. Now, all these stages may not happen within a fixed period of time. People are different. We also live in different environments, and we are also surrounded by different people. So the way one moves from one stage to the last stage depends on the individual. Also, there are times when one can go back to the previous stages because of situations. But in actual fact, when a loss occurs, one is bound to go through the 5 stages as described by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally, acceptance. It is only when you reach at that point of acceptance that you can look back and get energy to forge on. It is only at that point, when you reach that point of acceptance, that you can also be an encourager to another person going through loss, because you have navigated through all the steps and you are at the last step. Of course, there are instances when you can still be overcome by grief of that loss, but I would say that the good days will definitely outnumber the bad days. Keep safe, wash hands and sanitize, keep your social distance, and stay at home as we navigate this season of COVID-19.